Hello YouTube, this is Dr. Ronald W. Satz, founder and chair of the International Society of Unified Science and president of TransPower Corporation, a commercial and custom software manufacturing company and certified systems engineering company. Today, my weekly screencast on theoretical physics, we'll be discussing dwarf galaxy formation, the growth of monster galaxies, and some supercluster nonsense. So let's dig right in. As usual, we like to look at Science Daily. This is from September 25th, 2014. It says, a galaxy of deception. Hubble snaps what looks like a young galaxy in the local universe. So the summary says here, oh, and by the way, Science Daily is a good source for research news. Naturally, they take the conventional theoretical explanation, but nonetheless, it's good for us to look at it every day. So here we go. Summary. Astronomers usually have to peer far into the distance to see back in time and view the universe as it was when it was young. This new image of galaxy DDO-68, otherwise known as UGC 5340, was thought to offer an exception. This ragged collection of stars and gas clouds looks at first glance like a recently formed galaxy in our own cosmic neighborhood, but is it really as young as it looks? Well, this is an interesting conundrum. It's possible that after a galaxy has exploded, giving rise to quasars and radio galaxies as based on the reciprocal system, it would be quite small at that point. It might be a little bit hard to tell whether that particular galaxy is really very old and on its way out, or whether it's very young and just starting up. So let's see, anything else in here? It says, the galaxy lies around 39 million light years away from us. Although this distance may seem huge, it is in fact roughly 50 times closer than the usual distances to such galaxies, which are on the order of several billions of light years. And that says here, elderly galaxies tend to be larger thanks to collisions and mergers with the other galaxies that have bulked them out. And you know, here the reciprocal system and conventional theory actually agree. And it says, continuing, and our populated variety of different types of stars, including old, young, large, and small ones. Their chemical makeup is different too. Newly formed galaxies have a similar composition to the primordial matter created in the Big Bang. Well, that's nonsense. Well, older galaxies are enriched with heavier elements forged in stellar furnaces over multiple generations of stars. That's the conventional theory. So it says here, DDO-68 is the best representation yet of a primordial galaxy in the local universe, as it appears at first glance to be very low in heavier elements. So that seems to be reasonable. Let's go back. And this says, this seems to be a surprise to conventional astronomers, but not to adherents of the reciprocal system. Dwarf galaxies are formed from the combination of two or more globular clusters, which are therefore young in the reciprocal system, not old as in the conventional paradigm. Globular clusters in dwarf galaxies are metal poor because they're young. And by the way, the abundance of metal elements increases even outside of galaxies in interstellar space due to the slow absorption of neutrinos. And I say here, the reciprocal system microcosmos database is now available. This came out around 2014. And work was proceeding on the macrocosmos database, but this is 2018 when I'm presenting this to you two, and both modules of the reciprocal system database are available for purchase. Moving on to the second topic today, growth of monster galaxies. So we're going from dwarf galaxies to monster galaxies now. And the summary from Science Daily says, massive galaxies in the universe have stopped making their own stars and are instead snacking on nearby galaxies. Astronomers looked at more than 22,000 galaxies and found that while smaller galaxies are very efficient at creating stars from gas, the most massive galaxies are much less efficient at star formation, producing hardly any new stars themselves and instead grow by eating other galaxies. Well, this is actually correct. According to the reciprocal system, each star has a gravitational limit, and of course, no stars can form within the gravitational limit. But if a galaxy absorbs an immature globular cluster, new stars can form within that globular cluster as it's absorbed into the galaxy. Actually, the globular cluster changes into a galactic cluster as it comes into the rotating system of the disk of a spiral galaxy, let's say. So, this is actually correct. Monster galaxies do gain weight by eating smaller neighbors. Exactly right. So for once we agree with the conventional understanding. That's what I say here. So we've been saying this all along. C. Dewey B. Larson's astronomical work, The Universe of Motion. Yes, Dewey was my theoretical physics and theoretical economics mentor for many, many years. All right, one more topic today. This is more supercluster nonsense. So let's look at this one. It says here, Laniakea, our home supercluster of galaxies. It is not only one of the largest structures known, it is our home. The just identified Laniakea supercluster of galaxies contains thousands of galaxies that includes our Milky Way galaxy, the local group of galaxies, and the entire nearby Virgo cluster of galaxies. The colossal supercluster is shown in the above computer-generated visualization, where green areas are rich with white dot galaxies, and white lines indicate motion towards the supercluster center, and so on and so forth. Well, here we disagree. We disagree totally. The calculations with the reciprocal system, we certainly know that the gravitational limit for the local group is somewhere between 1.6793 megaparsecs and 1.18 megaparsecs, depending on what we assume for the mass of the local group. The Virgo cluster is approximately 20 megaparsecs away from the local group. Therefore, the Virgo cluster and the local group are not gravitationally bound. It only appears that we're bound. So all these superclusters identified by the astronomers, it's just pure assumption. They may seem to have galaxies close enough together to be gravitationally attracted, but that's wrong. So therefore, we're not in this supercluster, and it's just nonsense. Okay, well, that completes today's presentation. Study the reciprocal system and prove it for yourself. For the simplest possible treatment of the reciprocal system theory, please obtain my work, The Unmysterious Universe. You can get it from Amazon.com or TranspowerCorp.com. Very few mathematics in there. It's just mostly the concepts in a very nice arrangement. Makes it very, very simple and clear. Now, if you want all the equations, then get my work, Existence and Interactions, a computational treatise of the reciprocal system, the true theory of everything. 1,711 pages, thousands and thousands of equations and diagrams. It'll keep you busy for months. Then if you wish to apply the reciprocal system in your scientific or engineering practice, you should obtain the reciprocal system microcosmos database and the reciprocal system macrocosmos database. The microcosmos database is all about photons, subatoms, atoms, compounds, and alloys, whereas the macrocosmos database is all about galaxy clusters, not superclusters, just galaxy clusters, galaxies, star clusters, stars, planets, moons, minor bodies, nebulae, and voids. So we have everything covered. This work could not possibly have been done with conventional physics. There's no way to calculate the properties of matter with quantum mechanics. It's completely useless. So please obtain all this work. The prices are reasonable. Amazon.com or TranspowerCorp.com. And as usual, I thanks for your attention.